Be blessed, divine. Today's discussion is about greatness of our Guru, Vedatri Maharishi. I have very immense pleasure and always talking about this topic. Any opportunity to talk about the greatness of our Guru, Sri Vedatri Maharishi. The philosophy of our life is to understand the greatness of human being, of God, also conducting our life according to the law of nature. Some might have read Avayar's poem, Manidarai Pirattal Aridhu. So, life is the great living being in the whole universe. So, understanding the of human being, thereby realization of God, and conducting our life according to the law of nature is the most important aspect of, or the goal of every human being in this universe. This to our day-to-day habits of all of our energy through our five senses, continue to act based on what the five senses have been us to do, based on our habits that has come by chance. To get off the habits and act according to the law of nature with utmost importance into the creation of cause and effect of our own act, which seeks for realization of God and also realization of self. Most importantly, the connection between the two, most of the mankind needs a guru. Now, saints in the whole world who have been attained self-realized on their own, universal blessings by the grace of the divine power. But the mankind needs a guru to be able to guide them towards achievement of realizing their own greatness and also the realization of God. The guru, in the word guru, gu refers to the darkness, ru refers to the light. Guru is the one who removes the darkness in our life by helping us achieve the enlightenment. Mother says, there could be no divine grace without Guru's grace. And so Tirukkural explains what type of Guru one should get. There has clearly said, Paga Patratran Patrinai Aptrai Patru Vidarukku. Guru is revolver several generations ago, and clearly in just 2 lines, he clearly explains what type of guru one should seek to really understand the greatness of himself and also the greatness of the God and the connection between the two. Explanation, the says, seek to get someone as your guru who has conquered and eliminated all of the desires so that you can learn the technique to achieve the same state as he achieved by his enlightenment. For realization and realization of God, also to follow a guru who is realized and lives the life of a self-realized person with utmost love and compassion. Nothing in this universe, the secrets of the universe, the secret of nature is everywhere. And we actually a lot of great saints in generations before who those and who have spread their knowledge and enlightenment and left it in the universal field. So as long as we have a guru that has realized it and also willing to help with the teachings for the humanity, the most shortest way and shortcut to realize self-realize ourselves. And what Vedatri Maharishi says, I didn't invent anything new. I just explained what other great saints before me has explained. I'm actually standing on top of somebody's shoulders who have taught about what is God and who is human being and the connection between the two by just climbing on top of other people who have found out so far and has explained in great poems and books before me. With the grace, if one meditate on our own life force, specifically in pituitary, we will realize that you are just a fraction of the God. And this can be helped with Guru blessings, basically by initiating the life force from the Mula to the Nachakra, which is the pituitary gland. Vedatri Maharishi is a realized person and has simplified all aspects of the Kundalini Yoga system. He is someone who has lived the life according to the principles before preaching to the others and to the entire world. His teaching helps in self-introspection, individual's purity of mind, and individual human being realizing the true nature of himself. Original name is also Vedatri. He born in Guduvanjeri, Ingalpet district. He on 14 August 1911 to Mr. Tappa Mudaliyar and Mrs. Chinnamma. He actually studied only in the school, actual formal school up to 3rd standard. But for improving himself and to be able to sustain the income that he needed to get to eliminate poverty for his household, he wanted to separately study himself and studied up to 9th standard. Small age, Vedatri Maharishi started analyzing within him what primary reasons for pleasure and pain, what life force, what is the source of the life force, God, and why there is a lot of poverty across wherever human beings see, why human beings are suffering from poverty. He continued his spiritual question in the midst of all of his day-to-day activities, to take care of his family, the duties in terms of helping his family, performing a job, cutting a very successful business. He faced immense difficulties in the business and with his close relatives. He lost all his wealth and continued to struggle to take care of the family. He did not leave the quest for asking these spiritual questions and continued to understand the true nature and realization that came up with the constant occasion that he had to realize God. At around 60, he went on to create World Community Service Center in 1958 and create a center in Guduvanjeri. You can see the greatness in terms of he came from a very small village in Chennai, near Chennai, India, which is in Tamil Nadu. But he created an organization name. You can see how broad his mind is, how he is thinking about the entire humanity that he wanted to serve. And why, if you look at the name of the organization he started, it was World Community Service Center. It is not Chennai, it is not Tamil Nadu, it's not even India. He realized that the teaching and the enlightenment that he has, it is deserved for every human being in the entire world deserves to achieve what he achieved, and it is easy to achieve what he achieved. So he created this community to service the entire humanity called World Community Service Center. He will link to the greatest spirits and knowledge of great saints like Ramalinga, Bogar, and etc., and continue to enrich his enlightenment based on his own efforts also. With fearless efforts, with the ambition that the true realization that he achieved should be made available to every individual, every being from any religion or caste in country without any discretion. He documented it and wrote over 150 poems and about 75 books. They felt that previous saints had also great knowledge, and all they were written were either destroyed in the multiple generations or were written in such a manner that it is not very easily comprehensible to a common man, to a common set of mindset. Because of this simplicity, the simple way of explaining things, he was also called as common man's philosopher, very fondly remembered as common man's philosopher. The simplified physical yoga system, which learned and practiced by all ages to gain and maintain the um, physical throughout the lifetime, and Kalpa, which is a very great ancient Siddha technique, simplify the Kaya Kalpa technique that he used to achieve immortality. So, more importantly, his explanation of the meditation about the primordial state and absolute space has been explained through the help of the great magnetic field and magnetism, and based on deeper scientific principles. Vethathiri Mahari's profound revelations enabled him to synthesize a complete science of living for the betterment of humanity. Kundalini meditation, physical exercise, Kalpa yoga, and introspection. His things also added very new dimensions to current philosophy, science, and literature. And he actually provided deep insights into how self and nature are all interconnected. His lifetime contributions are called Vedatriyam, as we fondly remember and bless every day, which is a roadmap to the way of what is called the true knowledge. A deep understanding of nature is essential for living in harmony with the law of nature, while balancing material well-being and spiritual progress. Veda's profound revelations led him to propose that the moral state of the universe, which called as absolute space, has two inherent attributes latent. One is force, or what science calls as gravity, which is exhaustible self-compressive force, the source of all forces which acts everywhere. And second is the consciousness, which is the omniscient order of function in everything. As a result of the self-compressive nature of the absolute space, an infinitesimal volume of space begins to spin in a whirling motion called fundamental energy particle. The spin action also propels an outward repulsive force. The coding of the two forces, attractive and repulsive, is defined as universal magnetism. Fills the universe as a wave. It's the first phase of self-transformation to the absolute space from being to becoming. The reason understanding for and the consciousness and how Vedatri's profound revelation is important to common man like this is because he is teaching and the above understanding of full consciousness and absolute space helps us to understand what is the real meaning of what we have been hearing about in several generations, from whether it is Hindu philosophy or anywhere, any other philosophy. For example, we always heard ancient people say, I am that, Tatmasi. Aham Brahmasmi, which is consciousness is God. I am Brahman. The current Anma is also God. Brahman. Mind is also God. Until we came to Vedatriyam, we've learned about all of these statements as Tattvasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atman Brahma, Brahmanam Brahmam. A very on this level understanding, but not only just by theory, by a constant practice, we are able to realize the true meaning of all of these statements that we have been hearing so far. The explanation and meditation on our own life force and meditating on the universe and ultimately the absolute space or primordial state helps us realize that we are a fraction of the primordial state. Also, the most greatest realization is it's not just us, but all. It's not just me, but all human beings are also a fraction of a primordial state too. This session provides clarity that we have to make sure that our thoughts, words, and deeds should not cause harm to anyone, now or in future, any other living being, either physically or mentally. Of course, in addition to that, we should be in a mental state to help someone in time of their need, because all of us are completely connected. There is we can be live without each other's help in some form or the other. We may not realize it, but there are a lot of contributions of the society to everyday life, and so that we be also in a mental state to help someone in time of their need. Reaching out to the people of India, as we saw, the Vedatrium principles apply to the whole community, and he claimed from the beginning he claimed himself to be world citizen. So Maharishi traveled over 22 times across several countries to create centers and teachers for spreading in all of those countries. His teachings are simple and confident that can be easily followed by any religion, caste, and creed, and also suitable for any human being as it relates to the core of every religion. So, somebody who have understood Vedatriam and practiced Vedatriam can be a true Hindu. Anybody who has practiced Vedatriam, if he is a Muslim by birth, he can be a true Muslim. If it's a Christian, he could be a true Christian. And all, one of the greatest achievement is a scientist. If he practices Vedatriam, he can be a true scientist, which is the specialty of Vedatriam. And that is why, in recognition of that, in Chennai Birla Institute, I understand that in the picture of Albert Einstein and Newton, Vedatri Maharishi's picture is also posted there now for people. People realize that he is not only a spiritual leader, but his teams are so scientific that he can be treated as a scientist as well, which is a great achievement for our Guru, and it only speaks to more and more of our Guru's greatness and the Vedatriam as a whole. She has also presented about world peace principles in United Nations a few times. Ultimately, goal when he started the World Community Service Center, it is to serve the humanity across the world for achieving helping to every individual to achieve their own peace, because only by achieving individual peace he realized peace can be achieved in a family, and a peace can be achieved in the neighborhood, and a peace can be achieved in a city and a country and the whole world. So individual peace, world peace. Sirthi Peruvellam. So similar to that, one individual's peace spread multiplied across the humanity can create a better world for everybody can live peacefully and with harmony. Maharishi insisted that there must be also spiritual and value education to the youngest minds. Insisted that the spirit, value of the human being and the greatness of the human being, and how the acts of individual should be, so it is not harmful to oneself and to the humanity. The education should be taught at the very, very young age, even much before the sisters take on any one of the roles in their life, whether it's a husband or a wife or a sister or a daughter-in-law or a father-in-law or a politician, economist, scientist, doctor. You name any role, and some of us will take multiple roles. In that case, he said, before anybody takes any future roles, it has to be instilled amongst them the value of human being and the value education, so that they can play a better human being in their they do well with in the role that they assume. History are now being realized in introducing the sky system in schools and universities of Tamil Nadu as well. He also said, which I think I introduced before, that I have not, his greatness clearly is understood in his humility. He says, I have not discovered something new. It all exists in the universe and previously been discovered by other great saints. I just climbed on their shoulders and discovered more to do in much more detail, and the divine grace has just utilized me as one of the tools. So whatever happens to you is because of the divine grace, and the teachings comes via the divine grace. I haven't found anything or done anything on my own. He also fondly remembers Avayar as our deity who lived 3,000 years ago, and says that he has quite neatly explained the transformation theory before any saints explained it in the generations after. He remembers this of Avayar, பரமசக்தியுள் பஞ்சமாபூதம் தரம் மாறி தோன்றும் பிறப்பு நிறைந்து நீர் நான்கு நீடங்கி மூன்று குளம் இரண்டு ஒன்றுவன். Look at this. Our own party who lived 3,000 years ago says neatly about the transformation theory. That is, clearly explained all of what we see is a transformation from the absolute space. Param. Param means that one beyond which nothing compares. That is, nothing small or big than that. So, Maya Shaktiyul, 5 elements were created as a transformation of that resource, which is absolute space. He also says elements, which is water, air, the infinitesimal energy particle, and also the physical structure. All those were a transformation of the absolute space. He also says whenever he starts the discussion, he first of all again remembers anybody who has said God is consciousness. He says Vedan Devam enbar Tayumanavar. So he remembers Tayumanavar. Agathan Meipurul endru arivittar என்று காட்டி அறிவதனை அறிவித்தார் திருவள்ளுவர். அவை அறிய முறைகள் சொன்ன அறிஞர் திருமூலர். அவ்வரில் ஆழ்ந்து ஆனந்த கவியாத்தார் ராமலிங்கர். அறிவாய் நின்றோர் அதை அறம் வகுத்தோர் அதை வாழ்ந்து காட்டினோர் நினைவு கூர்வோம். Because if you see this, I have, at least myself, have never heard any guru for recognizing and that only expanding the concept that's already been introduced by the great saints before his age. That's the greatness of our Guru. And whenever Maharishi taught Brahmanyanam course, and it may be theory to you. Once you start to understand and meditate on it and introspect about it, it will slowly start to be your own research and experience, after which it won't be somebody else's lesson for you. It will be something that you will be known from yourself. So giving all of us as that level of confidence that what he achieved and what the previous saints have achieved can be achieved by common man like that is a very great experience, very great teach from our Guru. So I already said about some of the things that we have passed is getting much more clarity as to what those meanings of the earlier saints' quotes are after understanding the Vedatrian philosophy. For example, Vivekananda said, "Be as you are." Ramrishi said, "Atma Vichara," that self-inquiry. Buddha quotes that, "Look within, thou art the Buddha, the mind is everything. What you think you become." Aurobindo said, "The whole universe exists in the spirit, but the spirit, for the spirit. All we do, think, and feel is the spirit." But the inherent meaning of the above quotes was not easily understood until I completed the Vedatrium courses and started to deeply meditate on it. So the greatness of our system is not only it is simplified, but also really able to appreciate the teachings of the other great saints which we have not been able to do. Important to realize that if the knowledge has to go to reach the entire humanity, it cannot be sustained by just one individual. So he not only created the flowers, but he also created teachers. He creates students, he creates more masters. That's also another greatness that about our own Guru. We have seen several saints who have millions of followers, but here's this Guru who is given authority to not only be a student and a follower, but to be the teacher like himself. So the knowledge that is gained by him should be used to others. So he is one of the Guru who truly lives by the principle of it is given to you to give it to others. So he said it, he lived by it, and he is also helping us to live by it. And this is the Guru who said, Pleasures and simplicities are my wealth, and he lived by it until he joined the primordial state at the age of 95. I cannot conclude the speech without referring to the greatest im- important greatness of this Guru, our own dear Vedatri Maharishi. Because of the greatness of him, women like me are not only able to learn and enjoy the ecstasy that he and other saints before him and other men are able to realize, but also it gave me and other women like me to also become a master and teach others. He specifically says women are not great, women are not lower than men, but are very simply special. Not a great human being, great than men. They are not lower than men, just simply special human being in this humanity. I conclude the speech by thanking for the opportunity with deepest thanks to my mother, my father, and my beloved Guru, Sri Vedatri Maharishi. Be blessed by the